Last time we got Lich King 25 Heroic dead with fresh to BiS, we got some more Shadowfrost Shards, and we even got some upgrades. But sadly, it was only one raid the entire episode. This time, things are a little bit different. This time, you're gonna see more than one raid. You're gonna see more than 2 raids. And we're gonna address a really important issue. So let's start. As you all know, we got some pretty nice items on Fresh to BiS already. We're almost 6.2k Gearscore, and do you remember 3 or 4 episodes before our trinkets were the problem? We got Whispering Fanged Skull, we got Death's Verdict, but again, now we again come to the point where our trinkets are a problem again. So we're gonna try and fix that. We start off with a RS25 normal. I host the raid by myself, and of course, for the haters, I reserve the Sharpened Twilight Scale for me. And before you guys write anything in the comments, I want to do this as naturally as possible. And if you want this series to not take 2 years and to have raids where I join random pug raids, we wipe on the 3rd boss and the raid fall apart, okay, fine. But I use only in-game mechanics. I do not use the Warmane shop, I do not use vault points. I play like it was BlizzLike back in the day. And for you to know, paying with gold for certain items or something like this is within the game mechanics, guys. This has always existed, so don't judge me on this. I'm trying and doing my very best to do episodes weekly for you and to have as fast as possible progress, so you can see how, if you give everything from yourself, you can get to best in SWAT. So back to the raid. Everything was smooth. This time it took me a little bit more time to gather up the people, and as Warmane players know, recently Warmane has done some changes in Ruby Sanctum. They've updated the way that the trash before the bosses work. And of course, because most of the players here are just used to press keys and rely on muscle memory, not on skill, we had some wipes on the trash. It was really hard for the people to kill the trash, but we've managed. And sadly, at the end, the trinket didn't drop for us, but we will not put our heads down. So we didn't get the trinket, but here comes the serious issue. If we wanna pay such a high price for Shadowfrost Shards, we're gonna need a lot of gold, guys. At the start, when I got 60k gold, many of you were saying, wow, that's so much gold, how did you farm it? But as you can see, for one raid only, half of that gold is gone, and time is ticking. And so now comes the moment that we sadly need to clear up our bank a little bit and sell most of the items. I'm not gonna put everything up for sale. I'm gonna sell some of the expensive items, because in a couple of days the next raiding week is coming, and imagine if I get 10 shards from a single run. I'm gonna need 50k gold only for this. And slowly we're getting everything out of the bank and onto the auction house. As you can see, we have a lot of auctions. Some of the things already sold while we was posting the other items, and let's hope that we'll sell everything fast, because we're gonna need that gold. And on the next day, when I had time to sit and check, I saw that we have a lot of sold actions. We start off with 1000 gold, and let's see at the very end what have we got. And by the way, I'm gonna leave the time lapse of me collecting the gold, because I don't want anyone in the comments saying, oh, where did you got that gold from? These are all the auctions, guys, and at the very end we got 30,000 gold from the auctions, and we've spent around 26k the last episode we did, so we're kind of even. And now all of this goes back to Fresh to BiS. And just like that, back to 60k gold one more time. But what else can we do to get some more gold out of all of this before the raid week resets? Well, one of the best things that I can think of, because personally I can lead raids, is to host a TOC 25, where of course the BOEs are reserved for me. And again, don't judge me on this one, guys. I'm doing good for the community because I'm taking people to TOC 25, and of course the items that I can sell for gold are reserved because this is something like a payment for me hosting the raid. Thank you. But luck was not on our side this run, because we were already at the Twin Valkyr and none of the BOEs dropped for us. We got some Crusader orbs, we got a pattern, but they are not that expensive. And you know what I was thinking about? If you watched my behind the scenes episode where I host a raid, Death's Verdict dropped. Before that, when I reserved it, a double Death's Verdict drop. And this time it's a third raid, and what could happen if a third Death's Verdict drops in a row? What? Are you joking me, man? Guys, if you wanna do TOC and get Death's Verdict, join my raids, guys. You're gonna get it, guaranteed. I'm joking, of course, this is only luck, but 3 raids in a row, it drops. At the end, we didn't get any seriously expensive BOEs, but I at least found a guy who had enchanting, and I offered him to split 60-40 for the unneeded items that nobody wrote, and at the end we got a bonus 3 Abyss crystals. So we didn't make much gold this raid, we got some Emblem of Triumphs, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's always like this. But because nobody likes losing in real life and in the game, we're gonna give it another shot. For you guys, it's been a couple of seconds. For me, it's been a couple of days, but now it's Wednesday. The weekly CDs have reset already, so this is a second TOC that I'm trying to do in order to get some gold. But don't worry, this time I will not bore you that much with the stuff going on in the raid. Basically, we've killed all of the bosses easily, but at the end we didn't have luck again, and as you're gonna see in my bags right now, I found an enchanter again, I've got the Abyss crystals, but we're left with very few items and we didn't get any serious BOEs. But now we're gonna talk about something different, something that we haven't spoken about yet. We have so much leftover emblems that we currently cannot use to upgrade our character for our main spec, and the question is, what can we do with those emblems? The answer isn't that hard. I'm gonna advise you to check 3 things. First, check the price of Ametrines. After that, check the prices of Crusader Orb. And then check the prices of Runed Orbs that drop from Ulduar. And why check those prices, you may ask? Let's do some quick math. 1 Ametrine costs 10 Emblem of Heroism. 1 Crusader Orb costs 15 Emblem of Triumph. And 1 Runed Orb costs 18 Emblem of Conquest. Which means the Ametrine was around 100 gold. The Crusader Orb was around 130 to 140 gold. And the Runed Orb was around 300 gold currently in the Action House. Which means that if we take the Ametrine to be our base, the cheapest item that we can get, the Crusader Orb costs 50% more emblems, but only gives us around 35 to 40% more gold. And the Runed Orb costs 80% more emblems, but gives us 300% more gold. So what are you gonna buy in this situation, guys? Please tell me. If you know something better to do with your Emblem of Triumphs, please tell me in the comments. That's how I personally transfer them into gold. And now finally we're back to the serious business. We're again in ICC 25 Heroic. Again we're buying the shards for 5k gold. And by the way, look at the DPS. And somebody said in the comments that I'm number 20 on the DPS list. Can you fight with these guys, bro? Like, look at their damage, man. How I'm not gonna be number 20 on the list when I'm 6.1k Gearscore. And by the way, I wanna address the people saying that they don't feel like this is best in SWAT run, but this is something like a boosted run. No guys, I'm not paying for a boost, I'm just paying for the shards. Again, I'm gonna tell you, I told you last episode, but usually people who offer boosts want you to pay 50 or 60k gold to join the run, and then you pay for the shards if you wanna roll for items. Here, I'm just buying the shards. And about the 5000 gold per shard, I know that for some people this sounds much, but these guys, I can see that they do flawless runs, so it's not an issue for me. As you saw, I didn't get any shards from Marogar, but let's hope that on the lady it's gonna be a different story and we're gonna have luck here. And now what you're gonna see on your screen is we're wiping because we want to reset the exhaustion that we get from using heroism on the first boss, because we're gonna need hero here, and it's no point to wait it out, because the faster the run, the better the job, and the quicker everybody can go on to do whatever they're doing. And while we're speaking about quick things, I want you to know that Fresh to BiS has one job: to show you how to get best in slot as quickly as possible. And guys, if you want me to do these videos and have them weekly, to be able to watch them every week, I need to do stuff like this, because I have a real life. Not always I can host my raids. Also, I do not know enough people in this server to host 12 or 12 heroic runs. If I try to do too many runs with pugs, we might wipe at the third boss, and what content am I gonna present to you guys? So please understand, I'm saying it once more in this video. I'm trying to do this as to be as watchable as possible, and you can enjoy the series. Farming gold and buying items with gold is a part of the game, so don't rage and please understand what I'm trying to tell you. So let's see if the lady is gonna be generous with us. Are we gonna get our first shard? And yes. Okay, finally we got a shard, this time from lady. It's nice. Minus 5000 gold, but we are already at 10 Shadowfrost Shards, which is cool. Oh, I'm sorry guys, but I left the recording on pause for gunship, but I didn't get a shot from it, so you're not missing on anything. I didn't throw on some items also. And I wanna address one thing now, before the boss starts. Take a look at how much gold we have. We have 54k gold. And I want you to take note, remember that number. And now, by the way, on the Deathbringer, I'm gonna skip this fight, it's nothing interesting. I'm gonna leave the DPS now so you can see it. And damn, this Frost DK bro, who is this guy, man? Like, look at his DPS. I haven't seen a Frost DK do so much damage, by the way. And our DPS, well, we're not gonna speak about it right now, but don't worry, this number will go up by a lot in the future, guys, I promise you. Don't judge me on the DPS, I'm 6.1. So at the end, do we get a shard? Sadly, no shard and no heroic Conqueror's mark. Damn, I wish that I have at least one raid where all of the bosses drop a heroic conch mark. Can you imagine this? It feels so nice to not play with pugs, to play with experienced people that kill all of the bosses with such ease, guys. You can see our DPS, our healers, our tanks. We're stronger than the Lich King. We can even kill the Lich King with 15 people. And as usual with this group, we go to Velitrians in Dragosa first, as you've seen in the previous episode. And sadly, you're not gonna see me go in portals when we're with these guys on different runs. But don't worry, I will find other ways to entertain you. I know that this is cool for many of the people watching, because many people didn't even know that you can go in portals as a Retri Paladin and do 4, 5, 6 million healing depending on how many healers you have and how fast they can actually heal the boss. If you have enough time to get enough stacks, you can do a lot of healing. And I really hope that we get another shard, because it's been 4 bosses and only 1 shard so far, guys. Nope, no shard again. What's happening with those shards, guys? Come on. That means that I got ultra lucky when I did my 8 out of 12 heroic run that I've hosted by myself. It's 5 bosses, 1 shards only from Lady. If you know something about what's going on with this drop rate, please leave a comment and tell me, have they nerfed the drop rate of Shadowfrost Shards? What's going on? This is crazy. And I personally think that it's something normal for them to reduce the drop rate of Shadowfrost Shards, because for a private server like Warmane, where you can actually buy Shadowmourne with actual money, you have interest to make it as hard as possible for people to get? Damn. But to be honest, Fresh to BiS doesn't get frightened so easy by the word hard. He's not afraid of this. He loves challenges. He loves the adventures that World of Warcraft can bring to him. So it's a pleasure for me. I want it to happen as fast as possible, but sometimes even if they reduce the drop rate or not, it's just pure RNG. And now I want the RNG gods to vote in my favor, and please Syndra, drop me a shard. Let's see. Yep, we got a shard. Congratulations. Second shard. We already have 11 shards. Another 5,000 gold down the drain, but we're progressing with a really nice pace, I might say. We already spent 10k gold during this raid. Let's see what we're gonna spend until the end. And by the way, we're 1/5 of the way of getting Shadowmourne, and now is the moment that Fresh to BiS wants to tell you something. For the people who think that the series is close to an end, that this will end, don't worry guys. Shadowmourne is just a drop of water in the sea. So we have a lot more items that we need to get. After this Shadowmourne, we are gonna need to get RS25 heroic items, and there it's gonna be extremely hard to get, because even if we join a guild, people still need them all the time. But for now, Fresh to BiS only needs Shadowfrost Shard from this boss. Are we gonna get it? Yep, another shard guys. Super nice. 15k gold spent already, but we have 12 shards in our bags. Let's do some quick math. If we get 5 shards per run, on average, it's gonna take us 2.5 months in order to get Shadowmourne only. And we're only a month and maybe 1 week into the series. And this is only for Shadowmourne. Do you remember in episode 1 when I've told you that it may take me 6 months, 9 months, even up to a year? Yeah, don't worry guys. There's much more to come. And by the way, here on the Boot Queen, we got a person who didn't go out for the flames, as you can see. And we almost wiped, but Fresh to BiS and some other people have ultra fast instincts, so we saved ourselves and we successfully managed to kill the boss. And now we move on with the play quarter. First we start with Rotface, where I really hope that I'm gonna get luck with the shard. And yay! We got another shard. And this was the 4th shard that we got for this run. We still have a chance to get 5, 6 or even 7 shards if 3 in a row drop from Festergut, the Professor and the Lich King. Let's hope for the best. But unfortunately, Festergut was not so generous with us, and sadly we didn't get a shard from him. We have PP and the Lich King left, so if we kill the Lich King, we're gonna get 5 shards guaranteed, but PP as our last hope to get 6 shards at least. And of course we did the weekly quest, it was in the Plague Quarter, and yay, this time it was not only 5 Frosties, 1 Ametrine. 100 gold is 100 gold, I'm not gonna return it. And just like that, we're on the most important boss for us. Why am I saying that this is the most important boss? If you remember in episode 7, I've mentioned that here we have two items that are best in SWAT for us. It also can drop a Conqueror's Heroic Mark and of course the Shadowfrost Shard. But I really want to get the Tiny Abomination in the jar, because this is a second raid in a row where I'm the only person that actually needs the trinket, and if it drops, it's basically for me, because everybody else who needs it has it. And let's see what's gonna happen. Nope, no trinket, but the belt drop. This belt is our best in SWAT belt. So if we manage to win this, it's gonna be our second best in SWAT item. And yet again, for the second time since this series started, Fresh to BiS is facing the Lich King on 25 Heroic. And guys, if this was a boost and I was, let's say, a really bad player, do you think that they would keep me playing by myself alive when I could wipe the raid easily? And the Lich King, there's a lot of ways that you can wipe the raid if you don't know what you're doing. Again, I'm telling you for the third time, this is not a boost run. The guys want gear. They're making a little exception for me because I buy the shards, but I'm almost 6.2k Gearscore. Yeah, I'm not top DPS, but I do decent damage. I do what they tell me, I do aura masteries and etc. when they want from me, so it's not a problem. And now back to the boss again. When you are in second phase of the Lich King on 25 Heroic, you do not need to kill the Valkyrs till 0% guys. When you deal 50% damage to them, they just let you and they fly away. As you see on our group, we have 4 Paladins, which means that we got 4 Holy Rats in a row. So it's pretty easy to do it with 4 Paladins. Unless 3 of your 4 Paladins get grabbed at the same time. What is the chance of this happening while me recording? Well, sadly they've managed to save 2 of the Paladins, but guess what? Fresh to BiS was sacrificed in order for the group to kill the boss. And now the only thing that Fresh to BiS can actually do is watch the ramp that we're fighting the Lich King on from the downside up. And by the way, it's pretty cool down here. I like the view. And after about 2 minutes I've saw this on my screen, which means that they've actually managed to kill the Lich King. And by the way, the leader started rolling the items while we were dead, because it's around 2 minutes of roleplay that we're waiting. And the second thing that he put up for row was the Conqueror's Mark Heroic. And can you guess how much I wrote? You don't need to write it in the comments, but guess how much did Fresh to BiS roll on the Conq Heroic Mark? Yeah, of course Fresh to BiS is gonna roll 22 on a Heroic Mark. But when I saw the winner, of course I instantly whispered to ask him if he's planning to sell the mark. But sadly, he refused to sell the mark and said no. And then came the moment for the build from PP. This is our potential win of a BiS item. How much are we gonna roll? Yeah, 3 bro. Look at these rolls. Look at the winner of this item. He won it with a roll of 36. Come on bro, I can't even beat 36. And sadly, I couldn't roll on any more items unless the Lich King drops another Conq Mark Heroic, as we can see in the case. So I have a second chance. And there it goes for row, our second shot. This time, come on, it should be better. 67, I mean, it's a lot better than our previous rolls, but still, we lose it. And I instantly again ask the Warlock if he's planning to sell it. And this time, we finally got an actual offer for something that we can buy. And now, the question is, for the guys who know much in the comments, Please leave your answers in the comments. Thank you. Because me personally, of course I'm gonna pay 25k gold and take the heroic mark. Guys, we're talking about best in slot items that you're gonna keep forever. So we got 5 shards and 1 heroic mark for this video, which I'm really happy about. But we've spent 50,000 gold. That's 50k gold for a single episode. But that's the price that you need to pay in order to get best in SWAT quickly. And if you wonder what the first item that Fresh to BiS is gonna buy with this heroic mark, of course it's gonna be the pants, because the pants were the last thing that I bought with Frosties, and I was really angry that they didn't drop for me for 3 weeks in VOA both 10 and 25 player. So congratulations, Fresh to BiS has gotten his second official best in SWAT item that he is never gonna change. And with this item we get to over 6.2k gear score the first time since this series started, guys. 6.2k officially. And with this we're gonna wrap this video up, but in the next episode we need to address the gold again because we're left with under 10,000 gold, guys. So have patience and see you in the next one.